People say the rain carries a song that can only be understood by those who feel longing. There are also those who think that rain is the right time to remember the past. I didn't know who was the first to say this. I guess most of it is true, maybe because of the conducive situation. The air that was a little humid, the bursting fragrance of petrichor, and the raindrops that fell like scattered pieces of memories, hypnotizing the mind. Whatever the reason, I liked rain. I liked the scent. My eyes couldn't escape staring at the drops of water that jolted the leaves, making a beautiful beating sound when dropping on the ground and the roof of the house. Rain taught me many things, about memories, hope, and about someone. That time, I was sitting near the window of the classroom, watching my friends having fun playing in the rain. That's when he came over.
Hey, Iceberg.
Greeted him relaxedly. I, who didn't want to be disturbed, immediately looked at him annoyed. Just leave me alone! I shooed inside my heart, but he giggled instead. His hands swiftly pulled up a chair and then sat before me.
It doesn't feel like our high school days will end.
The look on his face suddenly turned sad. The light brown eyes that usually shone were faded, as if they lost energy. Yes, I replied shortly, throwing a glance at him. What's wrong with him? He replied with a forced smile.
That means you'll be free, because I won't be here to bother you anymore.
Both corners of my lips were pulled to the side. That's good. I would pass the days comfortably. No more calling me Iceberg. No annoying gibberish. No one shifting my position in the class rank. No more you. I should have been relieved, but for some reason it was a speck of sadness that actually spread in my heart, more and more as the rain was getting heavier outside. He laughed blandly and then paused for a few seconds to meet my eyes. His mouth started chattering again.
Do you know why I always bother you?
Strange. The tone of his voice sounded very serious, and his gaze seemed impatiently waiting for an answer. Because I'm weird, I answered carelessly. His head shook firmly. His index and middle fingers raised his eyeglasses frame that adorned his handsome face.
Because I want to see your expression. Every day you always put on a flat face. Honestly, I prefer you to be angry or smile and laugh out loud because of me. That makes you look much more alive. Isn't it more fun to live without a mask? Because there's someone who always considers you precious.
And he said at length, with his trademark style. I didn't know whether to be happy or angry to hear that. But there was something I didn't understand. His words suddenly made my chest warm slightly, and the warmth eventually spread to both cheeks uncontrollably. With my face flushed, and I saw his face the same way.
This might sound silly, but may I have one thing?
He asked a little clumsily. One of my eyebrows raised. What's that? I said, a little curious as I continued to suppress my feelings that could not be explained through anything. Watching the red tinge on a young man's face is a rare sight for me, so calming and thrilling as the scent of the rain.
Please don't forget me. And can you wait until the time comes?
He said it without hesitation, and unfortunately, I didn't detect the lie in his eyes. I choked my own breath. Okay, this was confusing. No, this was very, very confusing. But why? Why was I nodding instead? Shit, what do I do? I shook my head slowly after that, and looked down deeply, trying to relax and hoping this increasingly crazy heartbeat of mine did not catch his sense of hearing. Arya, wake up! He is your enemy! Yes, an enemy that I could never hate. He smiled faintly, then glanced out.
The rain is past. Let's go home.
He said as he took his bag and then walked away. Brant! Thank you, very much. I finally spoke up after mustering up courage, ignoring the great pounding that I was holding so dearly in my heart. His steps stopped right in front of the door. The shadow of his tall body was so contrasted when exposed to the sunset sun. He didn't turn around, but I knew he was smiling broadly now. His right hand was raised and formed an OK sign. Then, the sound of your steps slowly pulled away. I just chuckled while touching my cheek. Hot. It's funny remembering what happened a few years ago, the last moment we interacted. After that, everything went on in their respective worlds. Completely lost contact. Only through a long period of time and rain did we greet each other again. Never mind. The most important thing was that I really enjoyed the rain today and kept smiling reading a message on my cell phone.
Next week, I will come with the group. Wait for me.